So I went through a little less than half a magazine, maybe a little bit more. Seems like I have about 12 rounds left. There's no one else out here with me at the range, so I am pointing the firearm in a safe direction the entire time. So far the 109T has been extremely reliable. The sights that came on the firearm, you either get a set of what seems to be a copy of the Magpul Pros or a very well-made copy of the Samson, and I believe that's what the Turkish military is using. I have wrote SAR USA to get a little bit more information about the implementation of this firearm within their military or what agencies are using them. The main thing I can find so far are a lot of training videos from the Turkish military or special forces using them in fully automatic. This, of course, is full semi-automatic. We do have a last round bolt hold open. Yeah, that was an accident, by the way. Visually inspect, and we are clear. Running the Holosun 510C here. Allegedly, the Chinese are going to come over and they're going to hit a switch and it's going to turn off all of our Holosun optics and we're all going to be fucked. However, the Holosuns I've been using for the last 5 or 6 years have been extremely reliable, durable. I don't get paid anything. I have no sponsors or affiliations. So the products that I'm reviewing or out here shooting are just ones that I purchased with my own money and optics that I found that work for me. I do have Aimpoint Comp M4s, Comp M2s, some other high-end optics. I use the Holosuns primarily as test optics when I get a firearm. Or when I get a new firearm, really just because I don't want to have to re-zero my Comp M4s for the firearms that I feel like they're more or less dedicated to. The Holosuns are very quick, easy to fucking dial in. I don't have to worry about the battery going dead because of the solar option on them. So, yeah, SAR 109T. There's not a lot of videos on this out here, which is highly surprising. Now, they do come with a pretty high price tag for what you're getting. They don't come with a brace on them. They come with a regular receiver extension that is just like the smooth buffer tube for pistols. Now, the problem with that is every fucking thing on this is Loctite. I did have to heat the receiver extension to get it off, to remove the barrel nut. I did have to heat that. So they put these things together extremely well. So really the only component that needed to be changed, in my opinion, was the receiver extension to be able to use a different brace. Now I'm going to SBR this because after shooting it several hundred rounds, I do like it enough. It has been reliable enough to want to SBR it. Now, going into some of the features that I dislike. The magwell is made specifically to take the Colt stick magazines, right? But with that, the magazine release is elongated. You cannot put just a regular standard USGI or extended magazine release in here. Now, that being said, you can always change out the button over on this side, but you can't put an ambidextrous one in. But you can change out the button for it to be larger, which is something I like to do after messing around with one of my buddies' Knight's Armaments. Tends to be my favorite with that large ass button, just easier to hit. So all in all, this has been a very reliable firearm, and the most important thing to me is that it's extremely fun to shoot. It has some decent military history and a pedigree that isn't well known in the US, but man, they need to lower the price point on these. This one I was able to pick up from my dealer on sale, end up doing a trade on it, but still I had about 600 bucks in it. The MSRP on them is close to 1,600. Damn, guys, come on. SAR, lower the price a little bit. It is worth 1,600 bucks. If you're looking for a dedicated PCC, I totally think it's worth it. But there are other PCCs on the market for $1,700-$1,800 price tag that is going to do the same thing, if not better. The B&T comes to mind. You can buy a CZ Scorpion and upgrade it and have a lot of magazines for a similar cost. So if these things were a similar price point as the CZ Scorpion, or what are some of the other cool PCCs out there? Insert your favorite PCC that's under $1,000 or a little bit over $1,000. But for an $1,800 price point, a B&T. I love this. Like I said, I'm going to SBR. It's going to stay in my collection, but I would not have paid the MSRP for it. If my dealer wouldn't have been able to get me a sample for the point and let me trade something cheap in on it to get it for around $650, I wouldn't have purchased it. I would have went with like the Grasshopper mouse because it's cool as shit, or a Scorpion. I love my PCCs. I have an Uzi, an MP5, which I'm going to shoot here in a second and show you guys some videos of the Pakistani ordnance factory running. So I just get some questions on the functionality and the history. Is it a clone? Is it a copy? And yes to both of those. But back to the 109T here. This is a very sturdy platform. Hopefully the price points will start to drop on them a little bit. Talk to your dealers, see if they can get them for closer to the deal that I received one at, and you're not going to regret it. Breaking it down, as I've got all my gear on here, breaking it down, the trigger and everything is not proprietary, but the buffer is also not proprietary. You can change this out with any buffer you want, but it does have this cool buffer spring system thing in the back, which dampens the recoil. I personally think that's pretty cool. And again, I've tried this out with original Colt buffers from my 635, and it worked, and still ran flawlessly. In 25 yards, I've done some grouping testing on this, which I'm going to do again here in a minute to show you guys. I'm getting 25, 50 yards. I'm not the best shot in the world either, but like, half MOA, some shit like that. I'll let you guys be the judge of what I'm getting and see the distance. So again, check them out if you like them. If not, just putting a little bit more information out there about what they are, and words that are cool, insert some type of cool Grantham fucking quote or some shit.